Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, a tornado touches down and damages property in a community north of Edmonton. Free play, how you can access sports equipment at 20 different parks around Edmonton. And Shakespeare for starters, the festival's returning to Hawrelak Park after years of renovations.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Tornado season in Alberta is more active than usual. Environment Canada says the province typically sees 15 during an entire year. So far this spring, we're already up to 10. Another tornado touched down last night about 4.5 hours northwest of Edmonton. CTV's Connor Hogg joins us now. So, Connor, what are we hearing from people near Girouville and Falher?
Matt, people say there was little to no warning before they saw the spiral in the sky. Environment Canada says an alert wasn't issued because it developed quickly and the storm didn't show the typical tornado-producing features. A local fire chief says no one was seriously hurt, but property was damaged.
We did see a fairly strong cell that moved through from around the 7 o'clock hours, kind of when things started to get going, and then rolling through right through about 10 o'clock at night.
The farm that took a lot of damage has destroyed some machine sheds, definitely some grain bin storage areas as well. And in town, there's a few houses that lost roofs. Nothing came off the foundation, which we're thankful for.
Garage ended up upside down and thrown against a camper. The storm also knocked out power to all of Girouville. Today, crews were out cleaning up and repairing damage. Smoky River's fire chief says neighbors have been helping each other out.
It's a humbling experience to see that many people come out and assist their neighbors and friends and family. Doesn't matter who you are, who you are not, or who you know and who you don't know. The community come together and did an excellent job providing for each other.
Environment Canada is reminding you to go inside during severe storms. If a tornado warning is issued for your area, head to the basement or more central room in your home. Matt?
All right, Connor Hogg live in studio tonight. Thank you. Josh, a tornado Connor was just talking about happened northwest of the city, although most of the tornadoes we've seen this year have actually been just south of the city.
Yeah, the typical area where you would expect them. Take a look at this map. These are the 10. This will become 11 once we get confirmation on that one, which, based on the video, it's basically confirmed. But all of these, up until last night, were from mid-May. You had a bunch on the 17th, 18th, one on the 19th, and then last night's near Falher, and potentially 2 today in southeastern Alberta near Medicine Hat. We're just getting reports southwest Medicine Hat and potentially about an hour ago just northwest of Medicine Hat. So we'll wait for confirmation on those. The tornado warnings that were in effect for those areas have now ended. Still some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings, though, for the southeast corner of the province, although those are going to end fairly quickly. That's the worst of the storm right now, and it is now on the Saskatchewan side of things. We've also had some showers and thunderstorms across northern Alberta earlier this afternoon. We even had a funnel cloud advisory in effect. No real threat of those ones producing tornadoes touching down. That advisory has since ended. You now have a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms, though, of the non-severe variety just north of Edmonton, and we're starting to see some gusts on the leading edge of those spotty showers and thunderstorms. While the sun was out, though, ahead of all that activity, we actually made it up to 20 today, so pretty close to average for a daytime high. We're at 19 right now with gusts in the 30 to 40 kilometer per hour range. It'll stay breezy. We'll see those showers and thunderstorms through into the early to mid-evening hours. And then overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning, we may actually get some steadier rain. Then a bit of a break. And then late in the day, some more showers and thunderstorms. A little cooler than today, about 18 for a daytime high.
All right, Josh, thank you. A massage therapist has been charged with sexual assault. Edmonton police are now looking for other potential victims. Last week, police charged 36-year-old Julio Uribe with sexual assault. Police say earlier this month, a woman reported being touched inappropriately without consent while she was receiving a massage. The Edmonton Police Service says it happened at Bamboo Wellness on the south side. Uribe has been released with conditions. He is not to go back to the business or contact the complainant. Investigators are asking anyone who experienced something similar to come forward. A historic building in the Quarters that was once the centerpiece of a proposed arts hub could soon be demolished. The city-owned Corman building is up for sale. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, the neighborhood has found another path to support the arts.
It's one of those old buildings downtown you might not even notice. Built in 1912 by a German immigrant, it was home to a Ukrainian bookstore, notable enough to inspire this replica at Fort Edmonton Park. About a decade ago, there was a plan to transform it.
There's a 15-story tower above the podium, and that's going to contain 64 live-work units.
The Corman Block facade was going to be integrated into an arts hub that would help transform the Quarters neighborhood, but the vision never became a reality.
Over time, there was about $8.3 million committed by the city. Provincial government never did come through with a commitment of funds, and that's where it stalled out.
The project's name is still painted on one side of the building, along with an ad for cigarettes. The building is historic, but not protected. The city has put the property up for sale, and council is setting aside $600,000 to tear it down due to critical structural failures, among other issues.
If somebody could take it, disassemble part of it, and then integrate that into a new build, that'd be great for the neighborhood.
Arts Habitat's current executive director says the arts community has moved past the vision for the Tower Hub.
Over the years, we've still been able to kind of have that same vision, but just more spread out.
Al Chapman is excited about this space, also in the Quarters, where artists of all types come to create and collab. His group is now focused on promoting its new cultural infrastructure plan to bring art spaces to more parts of the city.
A healthy arts community leads to a healthy community, period.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A city official says he will work to escalate complaints from people living in Callingwood about the neighborhood dog park. Earlier today, a neighborhood group met with a member of the area's councillor's office. They pointed out dead trees, poorly maintained paths, and garbage scattered around the park. The organizer says she's complained to the city for years without any response. The city official says after today's meeting, people can expect some changes. Major upgrades will take longer.
They're not going to come in here with diggers this summer, I can tell you that much. Can we get things improved, like maybe grass cutting, garbage is emptied a bit more frequently? That's something maybe we can look at. But as far as major overhaul to this park, that would be something that would have to be considered in a future budget.
Like it says, he will organize a meeting with the city's administration, forestry, and parks departments. A Central Alberta Rodeo has canceled its annual parade over hostility directed towards volunteers. It stemmed from a disagreement over one of the floats that was to feature Alberta flags. The Sundry Pro Rodeo and Race Association says rejecting the float was a mistake. A spokesperson says staff may have been too cautious with the screening process and thought it was a pro-Alberta independence float. In 2022, a manure spreader depicting former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and at the time NDP leader Jagmeet Singh entered the parade. This year's float organizers say they were shocked to learn their entry was denied. They say it was supposed to have 10 Alberta flags with no political messaging.
I'm not sure why putting the provincial flag and no other political statements at all. And in fact, everybody that was riding it was specifically told, don't have independent Alberta, separatist Alberta, anything derogatory towards any federal, current or previous leader, T-shirts or jackets or paraphernalia. This is just about respecting our province.
The rodeo will still take place in Sundry this weekend. The province is testing out new programs that will mean fewer trips to the pharmacy for some people. Beginning in the fall, pharmacies in rural and remote communities will be able to expand their services. They'll be able to offer health screenings, point-of-care testing, and acute condition assessments. Albertans with stable chronic conditions will also be able to receive a supply of up to 100 days of medication.
For rural Albertans, this can mean getting help sooner, avoiding unnecessary trips, and receiving the care from trusted professionals in their own community.
The province is also increasing dispensing fees. They'll go up to $12.35 from $12.15 for prescriptions under 84 days and up to $13.50 from $12.15 on prescriptions of 84 days or more. A new piece of medical equipment is expected to help doctors diagnose diseases and conditions much faster. The University of Alberta Hospital is now home to Alberta's first photon-counting CT scanner. The new technology provides more detailed images of a patient's body while using less radiation than regular CT scanners. The hospital says this scanner will help doctors detect medical issues faster and more accurately.
It provides up to 5 times clearer imaging and 60% lower radiation, especially important for children and patients who require repeated scans. That means better information for healthcare teams and a stronger experience for patients, because behind every scan is a person waiting for answers.
The University Hospital Foundation says the new scanner is one of the most significant advances in CT imaging in more than 30 years. Edmonton is making it easier for people in the city to play sports through a project that's new in the province. Gear lockers are now available at several local parks. They can all be accessed for free through an app. CTV's Nara Manisa shows us how it works.
A quick game of pickup basketball for these junior high students. The ball belongs to the school, but what happens if you want to play a game after class? These high school teens are using the new sports lockers stationed at Confederation Park in South Edmonton. Here they can access soccer balls, footballs, and basketballs.
Me and my friends come here and play basketball almost every weekend, so to see like a good ball that's like high quality, to just be available for usage, no money, no nothing, and the lockers work great. It's pretty cool.
Edmonton is the first city in the province to launch this free program.
We hear that over and over again, that the cost of getting into sport can be a barrier, especially at a time where affordability is a challenge for so many people. And so to be able to just provide people a free way to get connected and get active, that's what we want to see more of.
The lockers are accessible by signing up through a mobile app. Once you log on, you can unlock one of the lockers and borrow a ball.
We're going to monitor usage, the data that comes back from them to figure out, if they're the right locations. And the easy thing about them, as you can see, is you can just simply pick them up and move them to another location if it's not meeting the needs of that community.
There are 30 kiosks at 20 different city parks. Future locations could be added.
Play doesn't have to be structured all the time, and so this is what it's about, is making sure that play can just be something people pick up and do, low barrier to access, and start having some fun.
The sports equipment is available from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. throughout the summer months. This is a 5-year pilot project. Nara Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next on CTV News, from Shakespeare to Silver Skate, the festival's returning to Hawrelak Park for the first time in years.
We're kind of testing it along with the city as well.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Hawrelak Park will soon hold its first summer festivals in 3 years. The park reopened last month after a years-long facelift. As CTV's Curtis Goodrum reports, the Free Will Shakespeare Festival will be the first.
Rows of updated seats in the newly renovated Hawrelak Park. A revamped theatre preparing for 25 days of Shakespeare performances after a 3-year break.
It is very exciting to have this show be the first one here, and I think for this cast to be part of the first company back in the amphitheatre.
Much Ado About Nothing director Ian Long says the amphitheatre has seen big improvements.
We're kind of testing it along with the city as well.
David Horak is the artistic director for the Free Will Shakespeare Festival. He says losing its home hurt the festival's ability to bring in audiences.
Or if it looks a little dicey weather-wise, we can go and perform. And in the other locations for the past 3 years, we were really weather dependent.
They're not the only ones who depend on the weather. The Silver Skate Festival will return in February.
Horlac's our home, and we are so excited to come back.
The city's longest-running winter festival says there's already more international interest than in the past several years.
I think that a lot of people will be really excited to come back and experience in winter. It'll be really nice to be skating on this pond again.
We couldn't be happier and more excited to have our festivals return to their home. Some of these festivals have been here for longer than 20, 30 years.
The City of Edmonton says the newly renovated park will draw more visitors to events through the summer.
We definitely recommend everyone gives themselves lots of time to travel here.
Free Will Shakespeare Festival starts Wednesday. Later this summer, Edmontonians can enjoy Heritage Festival, Symphony Under the Sky, and more at the park. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
MacEwan grads are taking over the Windspear this week as thousands of students receive their degrees and diplomas. More than 2,000 Bachelor of Arts and Science graduates walked across the stage today. The school says convocation is a chance for students to celebrate years of hard work with friends and family. One graduate is being recognized for her academic success and leadership as this year's President's Medal recipient.
Oh, it feels very rewarding. It feels that all of the things I've been able to accomplish, all of the struggles, the late nights, the sleepless nights, early mornings, it's all worth it.
Ceremonies run until the end of the week. Still to come tonight on CTV News, park officials discover a mysterious underground structure at a lake in Banff.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A mysterious underground structure has been discovered at Lake Minnewanka in Banff National Park. Parks Canada says a portion of the beach collapsed back in May. When staff took a closer look at the hole, they realized it was caused by the caving in of a previously unknown underground structure. In 1944, there was a Lake Minnewanka campground in the area. Parks Canada suspects the building is related to that. Heritage specialists are assessing the site to learn more, and the area remains fenced off for safety reasons. Very cool. Look forward to learning more about that. Hoping your forecast doesn't have any mysteries in it this week, Josh, or any unknowns.
No, but we do have a new discovery with the tornadoes from last night. They're
tell me more.
Tornadoes. Northern Tornadoes Project now saying 2 tornadoes. One near Girouville, and then another one just north of there near Nampa. We'll see what comes out of the storms and the tornado warnings that we had in southeastern Alberta earlier this afternoon, either later tonight or early tomorrow. River Valley Skycam shaking around with some gusty wind out there. We're at 21 now. That's the new daytime high. Temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly here once those showers and thunderstorms roll in from the northwest. It's 21 in Fort McMurray, 18 in Grand Prairie, just 15 in Red Deer. Look at the wind. It's been gusting about 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. We have gusts to about 35. Grand Prairie, also seeing some pretty strong wind gusts on the outer edges of some thunderstorms there. As we said, all the severe thunderstorm advisories were in southeastern Alberta. Those storms have now moved off into southwestern Saskatchewan. These were all non-severe thunderstorms, although a couple of them producing some decent amounts of rain, very isolated heavy downpours. You're also seeing some pretty intense lightning there. It looks like just off to the northwest. Those cells there will most likely roll through. We'll see what happens with stuff back just off to the west, northwest of that. So over the course of the next couple of hours between now and about 8, 9 p.m., showers and thunderstorms. And then after midnight into early tomorrow morning, this may actually get a little steadier, especially west and northwest of the city. But even in the Edmonton area through the overnight period could see some rain as opposed to scattered showers and thunderstorms. I think it's always dangerous with this kind of setup to try and figure out exactly what time of day might be the driest tomorrow. But I think between 7 a.m. and noon, most of the rain is going to be south and west of Edmonton. So we may actually get into a little bit of a dry spell there through the morning hours. And then around lunchtime and into the afternoon, we're back into some hit and miss shower and potentially thunderstorm activity. Temperatures tomorrow morning should be in the 8 to 11 degree range across most of the province. A little cooler in Banff. Close to 20 in Fort McMurray tomorrow. Mid-teens with some showers and thunderstorms back off to the west and northwest. You'll be in the mid-teens in Red Deer as well. And about 18 for Jasper and Lloydminster. We'll see temperatures slide to about 10 or 11 degrees tomorrow morning. You get those showers and thunderstorms here early this evening, then a bit of a break, and then overnight and early tomorrow morning. As we said, most of this rain's done by 7 a.m. I think it's sort of 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.-ish that we would have the most likely chance for some of that rain. Bit of a break, and then showers and thunderstorms scattered through the afternoon and early evening hours tomorrow. Similar setup for Thursday. I think we'll be fairly dry in the morning with a mix of sun and cloud, and then in the afternoon you get a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Friday looks nice, 21, mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies. That's out ahead of a wet weekend. Summer officially arrives on Sunday, but look at those temperatures, mid-teens Saturday, Sunday, and that actually could be some heavier, steadier rain on Saturday.
All right, Josh, thank you. A new boat launch at Rundle Park is making kayaking and paddle boarding easier for people in wheelchairs to access.
Being on the water when it's nice outside.
A little rain last night didn't stop the launch's grand opening. The Edmonton Whitewater Paddlers and the Paralympic Sport Association partnered on the project. They say kayakers and paddle boarders in wheelchairs face difficulties getting to the water. The boats also had to be dragged up the hill by up to 4 people, so a new system was built.
This is so cool.
You can roll up, get right beside the boat on the rollers, we load them in, we roll them down into the water, we turn them around, we can winch them back up with a winch, up the rollers, so it takes all that back-breaking work out of it.
I just love the feeling of being on the water, and it gives me a sense of freedom.
The province's Community Enhancement Grant paid for the materials, and the city built a concrete pad for the Docks Foundation. When we return, welcome to Recycle, a local man creating a miniature town out of reusable materials.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
On Wednesday, what will change for students at school in the fall if Ottawa moves forward with a social media ban for kids under 16? And we asked the mayor about the likelihood of Edmonton leaving Alberta if Alberta leaves Canada.
An 83-year-old man in Edmonton is aiming to reduce waste at his retirement home by building a miniature town. This is the town of Recycle. It has a school, a church, an outhouse, and a farm. Builder Russ Drury added some personal touches, including his wedding date, to the general store. The town is made up of 90% recycled materials, including popsicle sticks, cardboard, and a can from the cafeteria. Drury used to have a workshop and says the project reignited his creativity.
I was having medical problems, so it wasn't exactly safe for me to be using machinery. So instead of using machinery, now I'm working with a pair of scissors, a utility knife, and glue.
The town of Recycle's population is currently 0, but Drury plans to change that by building a hotel next. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.